Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And today we're going to be talking about how to experience your triumph. No matter what happens, how do we continue to move forward in positive and powerful ways? We can't always choose what happens to us, but we can choose our response. We can choose that in business and in life. So I'm excited to bring our two special guests aboard today, and they're going to be sharing from their experience, wisdom, insight, tips, and tools to help us really step into our triumph, to overcome, to not just survive, but thrive. Very excited to have all of us coming together to lean in, pour into you, no matter where you are in your journey today, whether you are currently in a challenging place or perhaps you're in that thriving place. We all will have those moments and times that stop us in our tracks, have us pause, and we have an opportunity to regroup and step forward and to shine, to find that silver lining, to become the victor, to really step into our powerful space of triumph. So today we're going to come alongside you and pour into you to encourage, empower, uplift, and support you. Thank you for leaning in, for joining us today. Now, in order for us to pour fully into you, it's important to choose to be fully present. So I'm going to encourage you to take a deep breath in through your nose, all the way to your toes, and then breathe out like you're breathing out through a straw. I always find this moment of pause and breathing is so supportive of me. It gives me an opportunity to center, to connect with each and every one of you, to be fully present. As I breathe in and slow down, I feel all that support coming in to every cell of my body. As I breathe out, I'm releasing those things that no longer serve, creating room and space for more. As you are breathing, connecting, centering, I want to encourage you to think about, how do you experience your triumph? How are you finding that silver lining? How are you continuing to step forward even when, not if, when those challenging things come? What's your game plan? How do you choose to keep moving forward? Great things to stop, pause, and think about. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have some of these tips, tools, and ideas in your tool bag ready to go, so when that challenging moment happens, you're not scrambling? You know more, oh wait, let me pause, let me open my toolbox, and here's something that can support me today. Wouldn't that be beautiful? So as you're pausing, breathing, listening, choosing to be fully present, I encourage you to open up your toolbox, open up your bag of tricks, and create some room and space for the wisdom, tips, and tools and insights that we're going to share today, or that may be sparked, bubble up as you pause, connect, and listen. Beautiful. In fact, let's just dial this up. One of the best tips I have learned is, when I feel the pressure, when things are coming at me or the unexpected, instead of reacting, I choose to pause, breathe. I take that moment for me. I remember what matters most to me. And then, as I pause, breathe, and center, I can choose how to navigate more in that space and choose my choices rather than react. So as we're breathing, pausing, centering, I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as you do so, put both hands on your heart. Let's bring the heart into our conversation today. And with both hands on the heart, notice that heart beat. And take a moment to just feel in as you become truly connected with your heart. What is it that you need today to encourage you, support you, empower you on your journey? What do you need today to add to that toolbox to support you? And just listen. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Because you have choice. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Bring in that information. Let's take another breath. Big breath. Eyes open, fully present. Even move your shoulders a little bit. Just bring that movement and connection in as you become fully present. Eyes open, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart that you need and are willing to receive. Not the how, but what. And keep that top of mind as you write it down. You're bringing it forward. You're co-creating it. And you're allowing us to pour into you and to support you as we come together and you connect with that information. I encourage you to keep this top of mind as we go throughout our time together today and be listening both with your ears and your heart to those things that can support and empower you in our time together today, and add those things to your toolbox. We're going to go around a virtual room, and as we take a moment, just a quick share from each of our guests, 10 to 15 seconds, what was laid on their heart to share when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. So Brigitte, I would love for you to start. What was laid on your heart?
Heart was to trust myself. I always need to be brought back and reminded to look back in and to keep my heart open, and to trust that the universe will look after me.
I love that. Trust. So important. And we need to be reminded. I don't think you're alone in that at all. We all need to be reminded of that, ourselves and the universe. Beautiful. Thank you for your share. And Caroline, how about you? When you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, what was laid on your heart?
That for us to remember who we truly are as spiritual beings, and that we are creating this reality, and everything that happens, every challenge that we come across is something we planned before we were born. We don't remember that we planned that challenge, but to remember that we chose it, and to be thankful for everything in our life. Live in an attitude of gratitude.
Oh, I love that. Thankful for everything in our lives. The attitude of gratitude. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that even in those challenging, hard times, to be thankful as well. Really powerful. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And listeners, how about you? When you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, and you've heard my thoughts, Brigitte's, and Caroline's, what is being poured into you? What's bubbling up? And take a moment. Really receive that information. As we go to this first commercial break, this is a moment. These are 2 minutes for you to really drink in being in this moment, listening, hearing, and receiving. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and the opportunity to be present, to listen, to slow down, and to allow yourself to be poured into. What a rich experience that is. I love the opportunity to be still and to be open, and I get to be and receive. And so that's how I hope you're coming to the show today, to be open and ready to receive. And as we connect together, I'm really excited to introduce our first guest. I know you'll love her heart and her spirit. She shared from her heart in our opening segment around trust, trusting herself and trusting the universe is something that was laid upon her heart. So building on that, I'm excited to introduce Brigitte Dove. She is on a mission to increase the success rates of female founders. From a background in advertising and marketing, she is passionate about getting women to believe they are entrepreneurs and teach them the business skills they need, but with a softer, more feminine edge and finesse. So please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and feminine Brigitte Dove to the show. Welcome.
Hello there. Good to be here.
Excited to have you joining us today. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping female founders really embrace being entrepreneurs, that we have that? Why is this work so personally important to you?
Because through my career, which, as you said, was in advertising and marketing, I worked with a lot of men. I worked with them, and they were fabulous people, but I never felt the system I was working within was designed for me. And I've met so many fabulous women that feel intimidated by the actual structure of business. And I just want to demystify it and show everyone that they can be successful and they can do it their way.
I love this. You can demystify it. And for anyone who is feeling that way, they're not alone. So I appreciate you kind of busting that myth and letting us know that, and that we are, and I'm curious about this reminder that we are entrepreneurs and that we can lead our organizations in a powerful way. Do you find that there's a disconnect there where female founders don't always feel that way? I'd love for you to share.
Absolutely, I do. And the women that I work with are often, I guess, what we would call, they have a side hustle. And that side hustle can sometimes be a business that's generating a six-figure income, but the women themselves haven't realized that it's a business. And that's a huge mindset shift I like to work with. We're so good at doing everything, women. We forget that we can also run businesses as well.
I love that. And it doesn't have to just be a side hustle. It can be a business thing that you're creating and really bringing forward in powerful ways. Oh, I'm curious in thinking about that and how we see something as a side hustle, not always embracing it as a full business. How do you manage bringing business and life together and really owning that? How have you found that's worked powerfully for you?
Well, I guess that's where my business comes together. The greatest gift I've ever been given is being surrounded by fabulous women. Once you start connecting, they support each other. And in my own business life, and creating a business and working with women, the silver lining is without doubt the connections you make. And once you get a circle of women together, the energy and the support and the ability to create together is absolutely amazing and really inspiring.
I love that. So the connection, the community, the support from one another, and that you even mentioned that silver lining. And I feel like that ties so well into challenges. We're talking today, especially about our triumph, stepping into that. So one, owning and building those connections. But how does that help when challenges come and there's adversity that you're facing, perhaps in your own life or your own business? How do we navigate that? How do we find the silver lining?
For me, it's always about perspective. Whatever challenges you're facing, you've got to have the perspective about what's going on. Even the most extreme situations, a bit like the meditation, you have to step back and look and take the time to see what's really going on. And two things that I've learned in every situation, and I really try hard to apply this, is don't compare what you're going through to anyone else's. Sometimes the triumph for you on your day is just to get up in the morning, and that's brilliant. Go with that. Take that as a great win. But also, and it's something you mentioned earlier, always know and believe that at every moment you're at choice. I think it's a common thing, but I read it with Jack Canfield, that the event and how you respond to it is the outcome. So trust yourself and believe you have choice.
Thank you for those important reminders. I feel like we forget sometimes that we do have choice in those challenging moments. So it's so important to remember that we do and to really bring forward that trust. Thank you for sharing that. Great tips to add to our toolbox. So, do you mind sharing a little bit of what you do in the world and how do you tie that together, your life, your business, find a balance with all of that you're bringing to the world?
Well, the whole business and me starting the work that I do was created after I got divorced. And that in itself was a kind of silver lining because I got the opportunity to sit down with a blank piece of paper and decide what I really wanted to do. I loved the background. I loved the business career I had. I also knew I wanted women and smaller businesses to succeed. So I was able to create a business that can mentor women who I'm passionate about working with, And most importantly, create a community of women around that as well so that they can help themselves. So I bring what I've learned personally to that, how to motivate yourself, how to stay calm, and how to trust what you're doing. And that's how I've really brought it all together.
Beautiful. Well, and I love that at that moment you stopped and you, with a blank piece of paper, and you're like, what do I want in my life? What do I want to create? It's almost like you shut out all the noise around you, all the thoughts, the shoulds, all of those things, and stopped them. Here's what I want to create. Here's what I want to bring forward. Here's what matters to me. And even bringing in the passion that you have for women and empowering and supporting them. That just is a powerful example of how we can find those moments that stop us in life. We can use that stop to create what matters to us. So important. And that is a silver lining, but we have to choose to stop, not let all the noise and everything else take charge. We get to take charge of that piece of paper, not the world. Anything you would add to that?
Well, that's it completely. It's just taking that moment to pause and know that that's what you want. And having courage, it does take courage.
Yes.
I would be absolutely lying if I said, yes, I get up every morning and I do. This is easy. It isn't. Sometimes you have to dig deep. But if you know what it is you want to achieve and you're passionate about it, it makes it all that bit easier.
Mm. And how do you, so two questions I have around that. So one, finding the courage, how do you do that? Because, we feel the fear, but we can make a choice. We don't have to let the fear be in charge. And secondly, how does passion fit into that for you? And what is the passion that drives you?
My passion is really simple. I want women to succeed. I've been blessed. I had a career where I achieved and I enjoyed it. Not everyone is that lucky. And as I see women have fantastic ideas, I just want to do all I can and to give them all the knowledge and support to make them a success. And not just a success, but to see that they are successful as well.
Beautiful. And how does this passion that you have help you face the fear when you are having those feelings and are feeling nervous, or even like, where do I begin? We can get overwhelmed too. So there's fear and overwhelm. How does your passion help you through that? Or what do you tap in to help you navigate those waters?
I have a huge piece of paper in front of my desk that has my why I do it every day. And that's, I make sure, and when you practice that and you focus on it, and meditate on it, the fears diminish each time you push past a fear or go out of your comfort zone, which, again, it's not easy, but the more you do it, the more you flex that muscle, the easier it becomes, and the fear diminishes and your confidence grows.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that reminder that it's not easy, but you're building the muscle. Because I think sometimes we see people in their triumph. We see them in the after or at the high. We don't always see them on the journey and behind the scenes, reminding themselves of their purpose, facing their fear, building those muscles. I love that you have a big piece of paper that you can look at every single day that reminds you of your why. I think that's a brilliant practice to build into our toolbox as well, reminding ourselves of our why, having it very present, top of mind. So at a glance, we can be reminded of our center, reminded why this matters to us, what we're bringing forward. I so appreciate the wisdom and the insight you shared with us today. And as you reflect back on our conversation, is there any final tip or tool on your heart that you want to let our listeners know about today?
I think it's that. It's remember that sometimes just getting through the day is a great achievement, and don't compare yourself to anybody else. Your version of good is your version, and believe in yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of what Brigitte has shared. What do you want to add to your toolbox? What is your truth? What is your why? What are you going to choose to do as a result of that? Are you willing to stand in your truth, face your fears, build those muscles? Because you can, and you can move forward. You can step into that triumph. You can bring forward those things that matter most. Enjoy these 2 minutes. See what comes to your heart and spirit, and we'll continue our conversation momentarily. I'm really excited to share something I have discovered. I have found that sometimes my lips are dry. I struggle with dry lips, and I find as a speaker and as a host that it's really important to have lips that are moist and plump. And so I'm really excited about a solution that I have discovered. It's an all-in-one solution for thinning lips, keeping all-day hydration with ultra-high.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to really be present. Reflect on what's being spoken to your heart and spirit. Now, as we're coming back, I have a special share that I wanted to bring forward. And every once in a while, there's a product that I find really is supportive of me and the type of work, and something I really feel like would be wonderful for you to know about as we're adding things to our toolbox, as we're navigating forward. Very excited to share about this special product and an opportunity with it. I'm really excited to share something I have discovered. I have found that sometimes my lips are dry. I struggle with dry lips, and I find as a speaker and as a host that it's really important to have lips that are moist and plump. And so I'm really excited about a solution that I have discovered. It's an all-in-one solution for thinning lips, keeping all-day hydration with ultra high shine, which is beautiful as a speaker. I want that high shine. So if you're anyone that has struggled with dry lips, I'm excited to share this solution with you. It's called City Lips. So if you're looking to have no dry or chapped lips, full and plump lips, beautiful ingredients like hyaluronic acid and peptides, really excited to encourage you to lean in. So if you want fuller and plumper lips with City Lips, shop citybeauty.com. I get to share with you a 15% off site-wide with the code EMPOWERING. So if you go to citybeauty.com, you get a 15% off site-wide using the code EMPOWERING. That's EMPOWERING. And they even have a 60-day money-back guarantee policy. So I encourage you, lean in, take advantage of this beautiful product to help you have moist, plump, full lips. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Moist, plump, full lips. Our smiles are such an important way to connect. And one of the things I was thinking about in our opening segment is we were talking about experiencing your triumph. And Brigitte talked about the connections with other women. And one of the ways I find we can connect so beautifully and powerfully is eye contact and smiling. So I love that this particular product can help enhance our beautiful smiles and connections. Oh, I'm excited as we are coming back and we're continuing our conversation around experiencing your triumph to introduce our next amazing guest. I know you're going to love her heart, her spirit, and she has a really powerful story that I know will move your heart and spirit. So it's my pleasure to introduce Caroline Chang. She's a podcast host of Awake to Oneness Radio. She has been a host for 9 years and has been featured in the documentary about trans communication from the other side. It was awarded Best Afterlife Research Film in 2022. She at the Life Beyond Film Festival. She is a journalist, an author, an inspirational speaker, and spiritual mentor. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and impactful Caroline Chang. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you for having me.
You are very, very welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. And I wanted to start our conversation about why. Why is all this work that you are doing in writing and in speaking and in your show around this connection, this trans communication, why is this work so important to you?
Well, it's my passion. It's more than the trans communication kind of happened after I started. I launched my show Awake to Oneness Radio 9 years ago, 6 months after my son transitioned to spirit. And so the whole communicating with this other side happened afterwards because of guests that I've had. They actually helped me communicate with my son in spirit. So that's kind of how that, but it was a passion after my son's transition.
And with this passion being developed and after your son's transition, what became the focus or really important to let people know? Because I always feel like communication, there's a reason and a purpose. Is there something that has been a consistent messaging that is important that you share out in the world around this?
Oh, definitely. Well, my inspiration, I said 6 months after my son's transition, the title of the show is my mission, Awake to Oneness Radio, and I use the number 2 in between there. So Awake to Oneness is my mission, my sole purpose is to inspire the world to awaken to the universal truth of oneness. It's also called the law of oneness, that we are interconnected because science, quantum physics, ancient wisdom, and spirituality, all 3 different areas, are teaching us the universal truth of oneness, that everything is interconnected and interdependent. Separation is an illusion, but the truth of reality that we live in is it is one connected whole. So that's the main message that I would like to share with the world.
We are all here connected because we're one. It's perfect. So in that, yes. What the separation's an illusion. So as we take that truth in that we are one and really know that that separation that we're perceiving or we're thinking is perspective. It's not truth. We're all connected. How can that shift how we live our life, how we navigate challenges, how we even look at loss?
Wow. That's exactly my awakening to the universal truth of oneness was actually in 2007. So I was blessed to have that awakening, years before my son passed. But once we, as humanity, just imagine everybody wakes up tomorrow morning on the planet and they know that we are all one. So they know if they hurt another person, they're literally hurting an aspect of themselves and God, all that is. My terminology for God is all that is. There is nothing separate from God. So when mankind awakens to that truth, there will automatically be peace on earth. There will automatically be no more war, no more crime, no more. People will not harm another person because they will know that harming another person is just harming an aspect of themselves and God. So that's why I think the message is so important.
Beautiful. And I'm curious as I'm taking that in, that there can be aspects of ourselves we're not super comfortable with. And I think sometimes when we see that mirrored in another, that can be something that can be a trigger for us or gets a response. Do you have advice or a suggestion on how to come to peace or even love some of those parts we're a little bit squiggly about or not as comfortable with, a certain aspect of ourselves, or even afraid of?
Very true. I use the yin-yang symbol a lot. Mm-hmm. The yin-yang symbol of the light and the dark. The light and the black, it's all one. It's not separate. When you look at that symbol, you're like, okay, that's not separate. So the parts of ourselves that we love is the light, and our shadow, everybody has a shadow aspect. Our shadow aspect, we're not crazy about. But the light will always illuminate the dark. The dark can never extinguish the light. The light always illuminates the dark. But it is still one. So when we understand that dark part in us and the dark part out in the world is not separate, we want to send it our love. We want to send it the light, to transmute it, to transform it back to light from which it all came. We all came from the light. So the dark aspect, we just want to transmute back to the light.
Beautiful.
So when we understand that, we like, okay, we don't hate it, we don't push it away, we love it, and we accept it, and we transmute it.
Beautiful. And for people that the term transmute is new to them, do you mind explaining a little bit? Is it simply transform, or would you add just some context to that for listeners that that's a new term for?
Sure. When I say transmute, I mean, okay, like we want to push what we don't like away. We want to push it away. But in science, the thing I love is everything that is firmly truth for me has been proven scientifically. In science, when you push something away, you're actually adding your energy to it and making it stronger. People don't realize when they hate something, they're literally giving their energy, because we are energy beings, and they're giving their energy to what they hate. So they're literally making what they hate stronger. Okay? So when they love it, when I say love it, accept it, say, okay, it's there. Don't pretend it's not there. It's there. You know, I want to change it back, because when you know everything is one, that darkness is not separate. So I want to change that darkness back to light. So I don't want to make it stronger by pushing it away, because that's what pushing it away will do. It will make it stronger. But when you love, accept it, it's like, okay, I see you. I'm going to shine a light on you. And it's so amazing that immediately when you shine a light on it and you love it, it starts to transmute back to light. This has been proven scientifically.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And I'd also love your perspective on challenges and how can those actually be blessings in disguise, those things that can be so hard. I love how this dovetails nicely from our conversation about those aspects we don't like as much or even hate. What about challenges? How are those blessings in disguise?
Well, the challenge is like I mentioned to you and your audience that my son transitioned 9 years ago. My daughter transitioned a year and 2 months ago. And when a friend of mine said, "How are you even still standing?" I mean, my friends knew my son transitioned 8 years earlier than my daughter. Then when my daughter, and I only have 2 children, they're both in spirits now, they were like, "How are you still standing?" And then I understand when I look at life from the bigger picture, that we are all spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. See, we all say that, but do we all live that truth? When you look at the bigger picture, I know it was a soul plan. I know anything that happened, it was a soul plan before my birth, that my children chose me to be their mom, but before my birth, they said, "Well, Mom, we're not going to hang around in that realm as long as you. But you have to stay there because you have a mission to do. But we'll still be with you from spirit. We're not gone. We're still with you." And so when you look at life from the bigger picture, that every challenge is your own design. You place that challenge on yourself before birth. So that's actually the book I'm writing right now, is life's challenges are our greatest blessings in disguise. We look at them as challenges, but whenever a challenge comes into our face, we have the option to let it drag us down, because we have free will. So we can let it drag us down and never get out of bed again. Or we can decide, no, I'm going to rise above that. I'm going to own it, that I created that for a reason. And you created it for your highest good as a soul, for your soul's evolution. And so then you rise to the occasion when those challenges do land right on your doorstep.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I'm excited about your upcoming book. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about the powerful sharers that Caroline has brought forward and the perspective and overcoming challenges, really looking at and embracing oneness, the truth of that, and how to handle and face some of those things that we're uncomfortable with, or aspects of ourselves that we're not quite embracing fully, and what we can do about that to really transform them. And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that opportunity to really take in those things, ideas, perspectives, insights, tips that can really support you on your journey. I hope that you have embraced the opportunity to pause, to breathe, to integrate throughout our time together. And I encourage you at the end of the show to take a few minutes for you. Take the opportunity to really drink in everything that serves, and then take that bigger perspective, that look at your day and what is before you, and choose how you are going to step forward based on what you've discovered or experienced or taken in today. Release what no longer serves and be purposeful, mindful as you choose to navigate forward today. Be aware of the choices you're making. Have them be in alignment with what is most important to you, your why. Start to bring those together. Choose to say yes to the things that align and serve, and no, take off your plate the things that are no longer in alignment. You get to choose. You get to move forward in ways that are supportive and aligned for you. Beautiful. Well, as I reflect back on the show, I wanted to give each of our guests an opportunity to share their contact information. Encourage you to write this down. We're sharing it on purpose. It's not just for drill. We want you to have an opportunity to truly connect with our experts, those who resonate with you. You can build a rapport, a relationship, and a connection with, and have them as people that are walking beside you on your journey. So with that, Brigitte, I would love for you to share your contact information.
Thank you. You can find my website at turnyourbusinessround.com. I've also got a Facebook page called the Female Academy of Business, and I'm on Instagram as Bridget L. Dove.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Do you mind giving the website one more time?
It is turnyourbusinessround.com.
Perfect. Thank you. I wanted to make sure everybody had that. It's beautiful. I appreciate it. And absolutely. And Caroline, I'd love for you to share your contact information as well.
Well, the best way to find me, the website is awake, the number 2, so awake to onenessradio.org. And if you Google awake to oneness with the number 2, you'll find my YouTube. On the only one I'm on by my name, Caroline Chang, is Instagram, but all the other Facebook, all the other social medias, you'll find it under Awake to Oneness Radio.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And I want to go around the room just one more time, and any final tip or thought that you can give us that would be amazing. So, Caroline, I'd love to start with you.
Well, my final thought is just that I really have a heart for mentoring parents and anyone, not just parents that have children in spirit, but anyone that is struggling with a loss. I really love mentoring, and I offer a free introductory mentoring session, which you can find on my website, awaketoonenessradio.org. But my heart is for helping others. I feel like I'm here, my children are in spirit, but I'm here to help others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And Brigitte, do you have a final tip or something on your heart that you want to leave our listeners with? Share with them.
Yes, I do. And it's this, and it's so simple, but it's so hard to practice. And that's learn to be really true to yourself. And that really means learning how to tune into your intuition. It's there for a reason, and I think it's really important to start listening to it.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that we can start to listen to it. It's there for a reason. Really wise advice. Thank you for sharing. Brilliant. And listeners, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us, spending this time with us. And I hope that you've gotten some great tips and ideas and things to help you navigate forward and truly experience your triumph, that rise. And there's a few things I want you to know. That's how I want to say it. A few things I want you to know that are true. And it's that you are beautifully, powerfully, and wonderfully made for such a time as this. The way you're made that is different is absolutely needed for exactly where we are now. Who you are and who you are becoming is needed now, not someday. And the biggest gift you can give the world is more of you. Be willing to share the amazing gift of who you are. Be willing to shine your uniqueness, your strengths, who you are truly out into the world. Trust the world with a little bit more of who you are. So wherever you go, whatever you do, I encourage you to choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. Share that gift of you out into the world. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.